Hello, welcome to Holston Valley Unitarian Universalist Virtual Church. My name is Spencer Conco. Today, our minister, the Reverend Jeff Briere, brings us a game called Real Life, and he'll show how many of us are playing on the easiest difficulty setting. To accompany the lighting of the chalice today, we'll have a mashup of the words of Jesus and Muhammad. Elicia Carter joins me in this reading. What actions are most excellent?
To gladden the heart of a human being.
Blessed are the poor in spirit,
For theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
What actions are most excellent?
To feed the hungry.
Blessed are they who mourn,
For they shall be comforted.
What actions are most excellent?
To help the afflicted.
Blessed are the meek,
For they shall inherit the earth.
What actions are most excellent?
To lighten the sorrow of the sorrowful.
Blessed are they who struggle for righteousness,
For they shall be satisfied.
What actions are most excellent?
To remove the wrongs of the injured.
Blessed are the merciful,
For they shall have mercy.
That person is the most beloved of God.
Who does most good to God's creatures.
Blessed are the peacemakers,
For they are the children of God.
It's interesting that many years ago, Jesus and Muhammad's philosophies seemed rather closely aligned. Their adherents have traveled far since then. We all have many reasons for gathering here each week, but we do have this much in common. We work together as a church to transform ourselves, our community, and our world by sharing love, pursuing justice, and seeking wonder. For the prelude today, a song written in 1937 and introduced by Billie Holiday, this is Strange Fruit.
Seven trees bear a strange fruit, blood on the leaves and blood at the root. Black bodies swinging in the southern breeze. Strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees. Pastoral scene of the gallant South, the bulging eyes and the twisted mouth, scent of magnolias, sweet and fresh. Then the sudden smell of burning flesh. Here is a fruit for the crows to pluck, for the rain to gather, for the wind to suck, for the sun to rot, for the trees to drop. Here is a strange and bitter crop.
We will sing Loving Kindness next. Please light a candle to dispel the darkness, to honor someone or some event, or to bring light to a memory.
May we be filled with loving
My name is Jeff Briere, and I am the minister of this virtual church. I hope you are safe and well. When you go out in public, please wear a mask, keep your distance from other folks, and when it becomes available, get vaccinated, okay? This morning I'd like to bat around some ideas about white privilege. I suspect you've heard about white privilege. We've spoken about it before in this church. Way back in 1956 and in the early years of the civil rights movement, the term white privilege was not heard. People talked about equal housing, equal employment, and other factors like that. But back in 1956, any person of color would have instantly understood the concept of white privilege. White privilege. It may be difficult to define, but once you understand it, you'll recognize it quickly. But if you are white, like me, true understanding may be impossible. I say may be impossible. A person of color would say it's definitely impossible for any white person to understand white privilege. And a person of color would probably look askance at this white boy telling a bunch of other mostly white people what white privilege is all about, but I'm not going to let that stop me. Something that took me a while to understand about white privilege is that it implies the right to assume the universality of one's own experiences and mark others as different or exceptional while perceiving oneself as normal. This may be difficult to grasp, this assumption of the universality of one's experience, but I'll give you a good example. The question is often posed, if there is a magazine called Ebony, why is there no magazine called Ivory? Well, the answer is there are several Ivory magazines. Vogue, Cosmopolitan, Boating, Southern Life, Harper's, Good Housekeeping, many more. And then someone will always ask the question, why is there no white entertainment television when we have black entertainment television? Well, we do have white entertainment television. It's called ABC, NBC, CBS, and PBS. Sometimes it's called A&E, the History Channel, the Hallmark Channel, or Turner Classic Movies. With white privilege, you see, the emphasis is not on what you do, such as routinely uttering the N-word, or as a landlord actively rejecting people of color as tenants, or seeing a black family move in next door, immediately putting your own house on the market. No, the emphasis is more on what comes to you automatically as a white person. White privilege focuses on the advantage you have that people of color do not. How are you privileged, though, just for being Anglo? Does it bug you that you might be privileged just because your heritage is European? Or because your ancestors were Caucasian? Does the concept of white privilege kind of make you squirm in your seat? Like many people, like many white people, at first I rejected the term until I understood that white privilege is an academic term with a very specific meaning. Defined by academics, white privilege is a set of social and cultural privileges that benefit white people beyond those experienced by people of color in the same situation. And those white folks may not even recognize that they have those advantages. You see, the word privilege can get in the way. Many people object to it and reject it and take offense when they are challenged. They believe themselves to be egalitarian. I mean, doesn't everybody? Certainly not racist. But you see, racism is only tangentially involved in a discussion of white privilege. A person can be non-racist and still live in a society where his or her skin color bestows numerous benefits. We cannot instantly change this society or this culture, nor can we change the circumstances of our birth. What we can do is be aware. Note the name of this card holder. Be aware. Been a member since 1776, it reads. Be aware of white privilege. That's why I'm preaching about it today. And in order to help you be aware, let me tell you about a game called The Real World. The Real World is a game devised by John Scalzi. He's a writer, mostly of science fiction, and he wanted to explain white privilege without the word privilege getting in the way. What Scalzi came up with this. Here's what he said. Suppose life is a massive role-playing game, the biggest video game on earth. If you have never played a video game, this is what it's like. In your typical video game, you have a character that with the help of buttons and other controls, you manipulate through the virtual world of the game. In a video game, the goal is to collect points and finish the game. Those who do not finish maybe break a leg or wander off or get lost or die. Not the people, they're characters in the game. So in order to win the game, you must proceed in an orderly fashion through several levels in the life of the video game, much like you live through childhood and adolescence, schooling, a profession, and so forth. But you can't just run pell-mell through all the levels. In each level of the real world, there are tasks to perform, skills to master, points to collect, and traps to avoid. If you get through one level intact, then you level up. That is, you go to the next level higher, where you will find many more tasks, skills, points, and traps. Not only are there levels to a video game, there are difficulty settings, such as novice, intermediate, advanced, and expert. Playing the game at the expert level is excruciatingly more difficult than at the novice level. As an expert, your character has to jump higher, run faster, see better, and generally perform at the level of the $6 million man. While at the novice level, your character can breeze through the game without busting a sweat. So that is what the video game world is like. John Scalzi proposed a game he called The Real World. In his fictitious video game, there are difficulty settings, and the lowest, the novice, the easiest difficulty setting is straight white male. This is a difficulty setting that you get by default. There are other difficulty settings, and in order of increasing difficulty, they are straight white female, gay white male, gay white female, straight minority male, straight minority female, gay minority male, and gay minority female. And every difficulty setting can be qualified by wealth, geography, or other demographic factors, but they are still contingent on gender, skin color, and sexual orientation. So a wealthy gay minority male would still have a higher difficulty level than a wealthy straight minority male. As a straight white male, the lowest difficulty setting, the challenges for your character in the game are easier than they are for others playing the game. Your tasks are simpler, and the barriers for completing them are lower. Your leveling up thresholds come more quickly. You automatically gain entry to some parts of the world that others have to work hard to attain. For you, the straight white male, the game is easier to play, and when you need help, it's easier to get help than it is for others. In a video game, you see, you begin with a number of points, and as a straight white male, you are given about twice as many points to start the game as any other player. As the game progresses, if you make poor choices, then the game will be difficult for you. But because you're still playing on the straight white male setting, gaining points and leveling up are still easier for you than anyone else. You can lose playing at the lowest difficulty setting. Likewise, it's possible for someone playing at a higher difficulty setting to progress more quickly than you because maybe they gather more points, or they're richer, or smarter, or have a better constitution, or simply because they play the game better than you. It doesn't change the fact that you are still playing on the easiest difficulty setting, and things come very, very easy to you. And if you like a challenge, the real world, you don't unlock any rewards or any benefit for voluntarily playing at a higher difficulty setting. The game is just harder and a lot less fun. And remember, your goal is just to get through it, not get through it worn out, exhausted, and nearly beaten to death. Another thing about the real world, you only get to play it once. As a straight white male, you will never know how hard it is for a gay minority female to play the game. So that's the video game, The Real World. If you draw the difficulty setting straight white male, then my friend, you've caught a break. These days, wearing a mask, staying away from people, and avoiding large indoor gatherings are, in my opinion, pretty good ideas. So is getting vaccinated. And remember what Zig Ziglar said, you can have all you want in life if you just help other people get what they want.
Peggy McIntosh once wrote an essay entitled "The Invisible Knapsack of White Privilege." These words are from that essay. In facing white privilege, I must give up the myth of meritocracy. If all these things are true, this is not such a free country. One's life is not what one makes of it. Many doors open for certain people through no virtues of their own. In unpacking this invisible knapsack of white privilege, I find daily experiences that I once took for granted are not universally appreciated. Some of these experiences are only the ones I would want for everyone in a just society, and others give people license to be ignorant, oblivious, arrogant, and destructive. I see a pattern running through white privilege, a pattern of assumptions that were passed on to me as a white person. My skin color is an asset for any move I want to make. And I can freely disparage, neglect, fear, or be oblivious to anything outside of my own culture. As I'm made confident, comfortable, and oblivious, other people are likely to be made to feel unconfident and uncomfortable and alienated. Whiteness protects me from any kind of hostility, distress, and violence, which I subtly can then train upon other people of color. The words of Peggy McIntosh. Our time together is nearly finished, but our work is not done. May our spirits be renewed and our resolve strengthened as we meet the challenges of the week to come. Please help me close this service now. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and share with all the world. My name is Bob Warner, and I'm glad that you could join us for this service. Please come back whenever you like. We will post another virtual church service next Sunday. Please contact the minister or the caring team if you or anyone you know needs help during these times. Our services are recorded in advance, so current events may move faster than our ability to address them in a timely fashion. However, you can find up-to-date information on local events, social justice issues, inspiration, and content for all ages on our Facebook page. To close, we hope you enjoy A Change Is Gonna Come. Indeed, it is. And as you make your way through the week, remember that you are good. You are loved. We all need a little work, and we're all in this together. Nothing left to say, but yay, church!
I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, and just like that river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die, 'cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. I go to the movie and I go downtown. Somebody keep telling me don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. Then I go to my brother and I say, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Oh, there's been times when I thought I couldn't last for long, but now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will.